feel like there's just no way you can't see my entire dick right now.
Well, you're moving your flap around. Your one.
My flap doesn't go. My flap isn't as long as your guys' flap.
I don't have a flap at all.
I do have the longest flap on the show. That is true. If we have to blur like a lot of frames of Sass's dick and balls, that's also funny.
All right,
He's
ready?
got a fucking mini skirt.
I know, dude.
Sag your skirt, bro.
It's
Dude,
just a
your
one
legs,
piece.
man. I'll tell you what.
What about them?
You just look like you haven't used them in a while.
Your legs aren't much bigger than mine, brother.
I
And you do try to make them bigger,
do disagree with
so
that.
that's worse.
Wholeheartedly.
Should I go hands around both of your guys' legs? Pick a spot on your leg that you want me to go around, calf or thigh?
Well, Francis just started doing something with his right leg. He's doing hummingbirds.
Good
You're
God.
gonna call that? You're saying I don't use those?
He's doing hummingbirds.
He looked like Christian
Have you ever
McCaffrey.
Have you ever seen that episode of Always Sunny
Your shins look like forearms.
where they're doing hummingbirds?
No.
What's hummingbirds?
Dennis does them. It's active workouts. It's work he works out constantly. It's just flexing your legs repeatedly.
Dude, I have a giant bruise on my shin, too.
Too many hummingbirds.
I think I walked into a table.
My dick. Yeah, I'll cross my legs. That'll be good.
It's fine.
I mean, it will be funny if we have to blur out people's
Or
dicks.
if our dicks are just on the episode, it could. What if it winds up being our most viewed episode just for a sneaky shot of our penises? How do you, I mean, for how many years? For probably hundreds of thousands of years, people didn't have fucking pants. People didn't have two-legged pants.
Yeah, but they also didn't have body dysmorphia.
Or podcasts.
Let's all be normal here, okay? Nobody is going to be looking at my dick when they see Harry's legs. Right there?
Let's see who has
Okay.
more girth, your
Well, I can
dick or Harry's legs.
I can speak... Yeah, okay.
yeah. All right, ready?
Mhm.
I guess we're probably already going. Alrighty, welcome back to the Son of a Boy Dad podcast. Today it is May 12th. It's 4 p.m.
Dun 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 dun. I keep it 300 like the Romans. Keep it 300 like the Trojans.
300 bitches.
Episode 300. We are here.
The Romans
Live.
didn't keep it 300. I don't know what the fuck he was talking about. That
The
was the most
Romans?
offensive thing I've ever heard him say.
Is that maybe a Bible reference?
There's no way Romans was 300 books long. Maybe.
Was it? Isn't there? How? What? I don't. I never understood the biblical references. It's like Romans 3:13.
You're definitely going to have to take the fucking MF Doom mask
we-
off.
Are we struggling there?
I think it looks so sick that it's almost worth it. If you're listening to this, please divert to video right now because it'll be a massive waste and you might catch a sneak peek of a peen.
There might be penis.
Of the end of a penis.
I'm weirdly hotter in this than I was in my sweatshirt and sweatpants.
Yeah, well, it's chainmail. There's
Yeah,
armor.
true.
You're wearing.
It is the shield, probably.
It's the massive shield on your chest. Someone try and stab me in my chest right now. Let's see if this leather stops it.
If I stabbed you with a butter knife, it would go straight through that.
The crease, the pleat in my fucking armor is truly elite looking. You would have thrived so hard in the Spartan era.
I mean, I don't know, man. They died from very simple stuff. You know?
Like what? Like an arrow through the
If
chest?
you got an infection,
Oh,
it was
yeah.
over.
Death immediately.
They didn't have antibiotics.
No.
They didn't know how to clean wounds properly.
No, they definitely weren't pouring alcohol on it.
They didn't even have Cuervo back then.
No.
What were they even getting lit off?
Wine.
Wine.
You sack of wine.
That's so good. They didn't even have machete back then.
What's machete?
That wine. It's only,
this sounds
it's only
so much better.
$50.
Yeah, it does.
Holy shit. Also, for what it's worth, when I had it on, I could hear the way that people complain about me sounding. I could hear the
You
whistling
could hear your reverb.
in my nose and my voice.
Your noise. Me?
What? You can see my what? I'm wearing boxers, man. What's going on here, huh? God damn it.
Just put a bag of sand between your legs.
Yeah.
I mean, these dudes must have just never been sitting. That's probably why they were in such good shape.
Right,
Just
because they
always
couldn't sit.
standing.
Or their just dicks were flopping.
Yeah, true.
I mean, the Spartans were all gay with each other, right? It was 150
sure.
couples, right?
They all had boys.
Yeah.
Who's your boy?
Oh, I thought
This?
I thought it was like a free swapping. Like they were coupled up. Did they bring along young boys to?
Yeah, a lot of them had a boy that they would just wear out. I mean, those kids had it rough.
Well, I feel like everyone that was like in that era, I feel like they were all just born when they were like 30. I
Huh?
feel like you don't really see a lot of kids from that time.
Well, they went
Probably
out in the
'cause
woods.
They were all getting worn out.
No,
yeah.
they went out in the woods and they couldn't come home until they'd killed a saber-toothed tiger with their bare hands.
Oh, wow. It's a good way to do population control.
Well, yeah, the saber-tooths were overrun at that point. Had to bring them down.
The boys had to do it. I think Alexander the Great was definitely having some relations as a young man. Alexander the Great was gay.
Yeah, I mean, it's just easy access.
Or they didn't even call it gay. There was just more.
It was just fucking.
Yeah, it was just platonic.
Yeah.
It was just two adults getting their, or one adult and one young boy getting their emotions out, which, utmost respect to them. Were there even women? Were the young boys getting pregnant? I don't even remember women being around back then.
No, there were a lot of boys.
It was mostly boys, right?
I don't know what the women did. I mean, they must have been bored.
I've never seen a photo or a drawing of a woman from this time period.
Really?
I think I've only seen just dudes.
No,
that
they
look-
had them, though.
Supposedly.
What about the girl from Hercules, Meg? Remember hot ass Meg from
No,
the
I never saw
animated
it.
movie? You don't remember the animated Disney movie Hercules?
No.
Oh my God, there was a little minx named Meg.
Thought you were talking Mercules, the newest member of Optic.
Hercules is a Canadian rapper.
Who was he signed from, Mercules?
From Canada.
He
Toronto
came-
Ultra.
So that was his first team?
She was on Challengers. And
That's
then
what
he
I
got-
thought. I was like, I knew he was on Challengers for a little, which is probably where he came up. But, that's like when you find out that, some famous French soccer player at one point played for like AS Monaco.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And now
Boca
they play
Juniors
for,
or
yeah,
something.
then now they play for PSG.
Yeah.
Right. Like Neymar was on some small Brazilian club
Yeah.
before he got signed over to Barcelona.
How much do you think? Because I know, like in America, like if you're not on like the best soccer team, you're making zero money. But in other countries, like if you're on like a minor league team, are you still making a lot of money?
No,
No.
I don't think so.
I was told that the entire team budget for one of the top teams in the league below the championship, which is the one that's below the Premier League,
Mhm.
was like $10 million
Of the whole team.
for the whole team.
Yeah.
And they carry a roster of, I don't know,
100 people.
18 to 18 guys.
But you still
Yeah.
probably have a British baddie. You probably have a woman behind 1 foot of makeup who's bad as hell. I feel like you could tell a British woman by her makeup.
You meant the players.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was confused as to what you were referring to.
they have a British
I thought
baddie.
you meant they just had a British baddie like in the locker room.
Yeah, she's the striker.
Yeah. I was like, is that a thing in the Premier League?
Yeah, she's a wing attacker. She wears the 9.
Yeah. They've replaced boys with just a girl from Manchester who spends spring break in fucking Ibiza, goes down there on a Ryanair flight.
to Ibiza.
The type of girl that wears like the glitter makeup on her cheeks.
Oh yeah.
And you're like, you haven't been outside in a long time.
But somehow your face is tan
Yeah.
She's
and
living
your
in the
neck's a different shade.
Yeah. So they're living in the fucking locker room of a
Yeah, because they train
Premier
all day,
League team.
and it's
Probably not
dark
the
out.
worst gig.
That guy from that show put out a stand-up special.
Who?
Ted Lasso.
Jason Sudeikis?
No. Brett Goldstein.
Oh.
I think his name is.
I've never watched Ted
Plays
Lasso.
Roy Kent.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Was he a real footballer? Or am I making that up? One of the guys I thought was a real footballer. So
I
nice
think
to
you're
say
right about
footballer.
that. But
European football?
he'd never. I don't think he had done much stand up before, and he put out a special.
Really?
Yeah.
How was it?
I didn't watch it.
Probably incredible.
I watched Conan O'Brien's Mark Twain Awards.
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I watched that too.
Yeah, the
What'd you
Mulaney.
think?
I like the
Thought it was
Mulaney
good.
speech.
I thought Adam Sandler was funny as well.
I thought he was the best.
Sandler?
Sandler. The Sandman.
Fucking Sandman's back. Who else
Mulaney was good too. I can't get over his jaw.
Why?
Because it's like, he looks like handsome Squidward.
I think you're thinking of Kumail Nanjiani.
No, I mean him too, but John Mulaney as well. Dude, watch a John Mulaney special from like 5 years ago. His face is like this thin.
Are they
now-
Giga Chads now?
Oh, he's a Giga Chad for sure.
Both of them are Giga
Yeah,
Chads?
big time.
I thought comedy was for outsiders who never punched down.
No, dude, Mulaney's got razor blades in his jaw.
What?
Sharp.
What a piece of shit.
You didn't notice that?
It's like reaching into the inside of a fish's gills.
Yeah, it is.
You ever do that? You ever pick up a
Yeah,
fish
by the gill.
not by the gill? You're not supposed to do that.
It depends on the fish.
We're supposed to go right behind, in there where the bone is.
Yeah.
But I always hurts me. I get cut.
Fish will slice you up easily.
I get cut by fish.
Yeah, and it comes
Really?
out of nowhere.
Yeah.
What part of them is sharp?
They're fins.
Fins, gills, toes.
Shut
The
up,
fins, like bluegill, their fins are like razor blades.
Yeah, they
that's
are.
why there are so many of them, because other fish don't want to eat them.
They say bluegill are the John Mulaney of the sea.
Really?
Yeah.
The
So what, they
sharpest.
cheat on Olivia Munn or whatever?
That's crazy. Can't say that about a fellow comedian.
No.
What did he do? I can't crack jokes about
I don't
him?
even think is
He
that even.
left his wife for Olivia Munn.
For
but
Olivia Munn.
allegedly there was no overlap. I like John Mulaney a lot.
I like John Mulaney a lot too.
Doesn't sound like it.
Well, I can still comment on his jaw.
I'm talking about razor blades, Giga Chads.
If you look up Giga Chad and you look up John Mulaney, they're not that far off.
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know what a Giga Chad is.
It's a guy who jaw trains.
Yeah.
Sounds like this generation's version of a pet you keep in your pocket
No.
that you feed. Like
You would know Giga Chad if you saw
a
Giga Chad.
Digimon or a
No, it does sound like that.
Poker Rock.
Yeah.
Ron and I were biking in
yeah.
today.
Yeah.
It was so nice. We could have used a guy like you, cape flowing in the wind.
Oh, yeah. It would have been nice. I was
Yeah.
in an Uber.
Break
Just
trail.
Penis on the bike seat. Bike seat inside your asshole.
We were biking and we had to go through an intersection and we were starting to turn left through the intersection and a truck was coming. And so I bailed and Roan went through it.
Yeah.
And I bailed because I was ahead of Roan and I said, we've got 2 kids between us that we have to
We average
consider
a child.
in the way that we choose which way we go and how we live our lives.
Yeah.
And he went.
Well, I was just following. Once you start to move, I was a second later starting to move. So when you start to go back, it would have been too much. You know, you just I had to commit to going across the face of a
Yeah.
Mack truck.
It's honestly, it's you got to commit sometimes.
It wasn't close to me though.
Because you ever try to bail? Like sometimes I've bailed and it's been a failure of a bail. Where now I'm just stopped in the middle of the road,
A bailure.
like a deer in the headlights.
It
Yeah.
was a failure. Yeah, I was just going to stop my bike and scream.
Yeah.
But I, in a way, probably slowed down the truck by swerving out.
Yes.
And that allowed Roan to get across. And
It was the most heroic thing.
I did that because I said to myself, obviously those kids should grow up with me in their lives. But if they're gonna lose one of us, it should be me.
No, that's so nice of you.
The studies say that the biological father is the more important link.
But that's disputed because the
then
father's
the coworker.
friend, yeah, the coworker comedian
That's
is
not
like
all
one
I
of the
am.
most valuable parts of the herd.
They're already calling me uncle.
It
Yeah.
takes a village.
Uncle
you know?
Fran.
It does take a village.
Yeah, takes a village.
Well, you sent over those snooze. I thought that was so nice.
Yeah,
You send presents.
I did.
You sent the
Okay, that
the cribs that have
grinds
the
my
camera
gears.
inside.
That grinds my gears.
Why?
Because I asked you if we should send a gift, and I asked you what your address was so I could send a gift.
You said your mom
and I asked
wanted
twice,
to know.
and you didn't answer
You
either
said
time.
yeah, because I can't beg for presents.
I'm not. It wasn't begging. I said, "Rome, what's your address?"
Yeah,
No
but
response.
you said-
Rome, hey, Rome, can you hit me with that address? No response.
Dude, I'm sorry, my hands were full.
Oh.
I was literally elbow deep in fucking green shit, and you're mad that I.
This
didn't
was
fucking-
actually no. This was actually weeks before you even had the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You said it was for your mom. You said my mom wants to know.
Francis.
Did you say your mom wants to know
Francis
or not?
vouch for me.
Acknowledge this. Did you say my
Vouch.
mom wants to know?
Francis,
I wasn't
be a
gonna-
man and vouch.
Here's what happened.
Get it out.
Here's what happened. The office was planning a surprise sort of baby shower for Roan.
This was pre.
And Hairball said, "Do you think we should get something for Roan?" And I was like, "I think we should." And then you were like, "Well, maybe it's best for us to wait just to make sure that the delivery goes smoothly."
That's not even.
Which I was like, "Whoa, that is dark to even put that out there, dude. Holy
That's so
shit."
dark. Thank God it went
never-
smoothly.
I
It
would
was like
never
a lot of these
forgive
gifts have a 14-day return policy, and we're not really within that window right now, and I'm not ready to put out.
And
you know.
Francis,
Who
still
else
got
is starting to itch?
I just got a ringing in my ear. I don't know if it's from the rubber.
My skin is screaming right now.
It's so funny whenever you do a Halloween costume and it's obviously the first and only time you're going to wear it.
Oh,
so
yeah.
there's so many creases and pleats in your Superman outfit. Baggy ass fucking scarecrow outfit. Except for somehow your Halloween costume that you displayed in your photo dump. Once again, just was fantastic this year.
It's Chucky. Yeah, it was Chucky.
Where'd you pick up that?
Halloween City or whatever it's called.
Not abracadabra.
No.
You could get lost in an abracadabra.
I think
Yeah.
there's only...
There's only one.
I think that's the only abracadabra, but it's incredible.
No, I think there's others in other cities.
Are there?
Oh,
Really?
there
I
are.
think so.
No way.
I thought it was a one-off. I thought it was like Peter Luger, where maybe there's one on the Vegas Strip.
It would make sense if it wasn't a chain because it is like they have like insane costumes.
And some of the
Yeah.
stuff in there has been there since the 70s.
yeah, like a lot of their shit, they're like it's like you rent it.
There's like a Calvin Coolidge costume in
Yeah.
there.
Do you know that I noticed something today that meant a lot to me?
I didn't know that. No.
I went to repost Hairball's joke that he posted on his Instagram story. And
I
I was
did that.
looking at his story and I noticed that I am one of his close friends on Instagram,
Yeah.
which means you have to manually add the people to
Well, that's
to
really
that.
awkward because I'm not.
You didn't see the picture of his dog
No.
from his home that he
No.
posted?
No, I didn't.
I don't post on my close friends, and I probably have like 5 times total.
You didn't
And
see the
every
picture?
time
And he's on it and I'm not?
And the last 2 times I've gotten in trouble for not having someone included. Last time it was my cousin. She texted me and she was like, "Why am I not on your close friends?"
How did she know about it?
Because my other cousin is.
You didn't see the picture of the dog with the piece of the bloody blue cloth from the U.S. postal worker sleeve?
No. Why am I not on it? What the fuck?
You probably are.
Why
probably
would you
just didn't see the
exclude me
story.
from that?
It was a post-kill photo of the dog that
Yeah?
had just attacked the post office guy.
I would love to see that. That sounds so nice.
But no, he actually did post a photo of his dog, and I had the green star next to my name, which means I'm in the inner circle. Man, this is awkward.
This is so tough. I just found out I'm not in the
I
inner
had
circle.
for sure, especially since you had already posted his joke first on your Instagram. Ryan.
Yeah, I had. Is that why you wanted to post it? Because you're like, oh, we're posting. each
I
other's
thought
jokes.
about it, and then I was like, "Am I going to do it?" I guess this is an age of forgiveness.
You
because-
are on it, Roan. So this entire
You
conversation,
obviously just
I
added
literally
it.
just searched your name,
You
and
just
you are. There's
added
a
it.
blue check next to your name.
You just added
No,
it.
look, I'll press
I
cancel.
watched you-
I'll press cancel.
Wow, you're going to undo him like that?
Oh yeah, now you're off.
I've never seen one of the things that you posted. There's no way I'm on your close friends.
He doesn't. In his defense, he doesn't post that many close friend photos.
You are on it.
You just
literally
added. I
are
saw
on
you
it.
typing and adding it on.
No.
So sneaky.
You got me mixed up with somebody else.
I would have seen the picture of your dog.
If you kept up, it's probably because you muted my stories.
I
Realistically,
would never mute your stories.
Yeah, that's the
I
truth.
just reposted
Truth
you
finally
on my
comes-
stories.
You can repost my post on your story, but it doesn't mean you didn't mute my stories.
This is the floundering of a man who kept me off of his close friends.
It is insane. That
It's
we
tough
had
to
that.
swim with all that armor on, huh?
It's tough to have just a big tie as your cock cover.
Hey, okay, I have a phenomenon I want to discuss with you boys. This is important. This is a big one, okay?
Was it how we were 5 minutes extra late because we were trying to find what keys our bike bells were in?
That's great. Let's cover that. Yeah.
That was an incredible phenomenon. We just stayed there with we pulled out a keyboard on Francis's phone trying to figure out. I know that you were a little bit pissed that we were late, but
I was furious.
I know. Well, we were just dinging away.
What were you guys doing?
We were ringing the bells on our bikes as
And
we
you
were
were trying
riding.
to figure out what note it was.
What note it was. And I said mine was a G, and I said that Roan's was a D.
Yeah.
We then pulled out the tuner
Yeah.
on YouTube. Mine was a G sharp, and his was a D.
Really?
So I was a half step off on mine.
That's pretty impressive. Do you have perfect, what's it called?
Clearly,
Perfect
am.
pitch.
I almost do.
Yeah, you're
I
close.
mean, I used to be pretty good at it. But yeah, I don't know if it would be called relative pitch because I always do it based off. I have middle C in my head.
Yeah. Do it.
Ba-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. That's C right there. Ba. Want to check it?
No, I believe you.
You do it, Sass. Let's hear middle C.
No, that was a D. No, that was a D because it's still stuck on D. It's a step down. Da ba da 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 da. That's C right there.
Mommy makes me munch my M&M's. Yum, yum.
Mommy makes me munch her crusty box.
Mary didn't buy a present for the twins.
He bought me Snoo.
Snooze.
I have so many gifts at my
up and
apartment.
down.
It's the Scandinavian version of dip. Much cleaner.
You know what I
The
actually I did?
precursor to Lucy's.
You know what I was gonna buy? But then I was like, they might be too young.
What? PS5?
No, the robots.
Rock'em Sock'em
Rock'em
Robots?
Sock'em robots.
That's
They're
pretty,
never too young.
They might be too young.
First thing that comes is grip
They're just
strength.
gonna eat them. They're just gonna like rip the heads off and eat them or some shit.
They're the size of Rock'em Sock'em Robots right now.
That's how every single set of Rock'em Sock'em robots has gone out. Is someone rips the head off?
And just pops it down their gullet.
Yeah.
They just take the top off.
Tyler, would you pull up a middle C on YouTube, please, for me? I can't move on until I've heard it. Ba na 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 na. I think it's ba right there, middle C. Middle
Right
C.
there,
An
middle
octave up higher.
C.
Ah, one on top of that. Ba na 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 na. I think that's middle C right there. C. Harry.
Did anyone already get you guys the
Rock'em?
Rock'em Sock'ems?
No one's gotten us Rock'em Sock'ems.
You were way off.
No, I wasn't. I was.
Okay, I got 2 plays of it before they shot an ad at me.
Whoa. They have remote control Rock'em Sock'em robots now.
Bro, buy them. I'll go in with you.
They're only $30, so they're probably pretty shitty.
I'll go in with you as a present for my own kids.
But the originals are only $15.
What makes you decide to say put a guy like me on your close friends and keep a guy like Roan?
Right. I don't understand what I.
You guys are both on the list.
Because you're going through your whole you're not going through your whole follower list. You're going through individual people that are coming to mind.
No.
And again,
it comes up with a recommended list of people, and I just went dot 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 dot, and I was like, yeah, that looks like everybody.
I am flattered. I'm flattered.
Roan is on it. I don't know why you haven't realized he muted me. Like, this is the bigger thing that we should be talking about. Is
Do you
that
think
Roan,
it's because you felt like Francis needed
Roan
it?
has me muted on Instagram.
Oh, is
like,
it
that's never a good sign for the podcast.
Is it because we often cross promote shows, so you felt like we needed to have? But we don't do that on our close friends. Though.
No, and we also don't often cross promote shows.
No, we
haven't done that.
The
in like
paranoia
a year.
in me is creeping up that you're posting to all your close friends nasty shit talk about me.
It's really only Francis is the only person in my close friends list,
and you guys are just going back and forth saying
we use it as like a
stuff
different
about
way
me
of
and my
texting.
seed.
Yeah,
You're just saying foul stuff about my family.
It's mostly about your kids. black screen with just text. Anyone else getting this vibe?
That Roan's sons look eerily like John Feidelberg. Anyone else seeing that?
Oh,
Not a
my
lot
God.
of curly hair in Roan's family.
That is interesting. That son of a bitch, Feidelberg. I knew something was up. He'll fucking hear from my lawyers.
I feel weird making jokes like that.
Why?
I don't know. I just don't want to say anything wrong about your brand new babies.
That's what I said. I said when in the first episode, I said I'm not going to say anything about your kids because I said I don't
We're testing the waters
because the line you don't know.
Yeah,
the line.
we don't know the line.
Because like Roan laughs at one of them, but then the next one you don't know if he's going to be like yo.
Yeah. Cut this. N-word, F-word.
Yeah.
Cut it.
Yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. Stand up. No, stand up. Put your pants on if you have
See if
to.
the armor works.
Stand
See if
up.
the armor really works.
Stand up.
I think
Say that to my helmet.
I think that I mean, luckily they're both just like healthy and doing good. Like I think that I would maybe have a problem if they were like having a hard time
Yeah,
and you were taking advantage of that. But for the most part, I think that I'm pretty good with any types of jokes. There's not a lot of jokes that have been made on this podcast where I've been disgusted and furious.
No, you never are. Which is why if we found that, it would be really bad.
It'd be uncomfortable.
Not
for
cool.
everyone.
It would be so bad. You know, because you're just so free and carefree and like
Yeah.
roll with the punches.
It would be bad. We'd have to be like posting on Instagram and Twitter like no episode for a couple weeks, guys.
Yeah,
We're
guys.
taking a little break.
Or shuffling things around. We're gonna try out a couple different guest hosts. Roan's got a lot going on with Pat Bev Pod, and he's sort of
It'd be a lot of Nick Murphy.
yeah.
Be a lot of consecutive Nick Murphy episodes.
But
For
hey,
sure.
what I wanted to ask you, this is a big question. Have you two decided whether or not you're going to feature the babies' faces when you post about them on social media?
I think that I don't have an intention of putting like a yellow heart over the kids'
That's
faces.
exactly what I
laughing
was
emoji.
wondering.
I don't get why people do that.
Dude.
Is it because like my guess is that they're saying the kids didn't consent to the picture?
I think it's something like that, but it's also like no one the only reason you're posting the photo of a child is to see the face.
Yes.
No one's like, wow, good knees. Wow, that's an adorable baby from the neck down.
Yeah.
Dude, when I
incredible
see a
ankle.
family on the beach and they've got their child between them and their child, they've like put a big yellow fucking goofy clown emoji face on the front of their kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, you ruined the photo.
Yes.
No one would have thought about it. I wouldn't have thought. It makes it more alluring. Like, what does that kid's face look like?
Well, you start to wonder. You're like 3 eyes. You're like,
Yeah.
what are we
How
dealing with?
burned
Yeah.
is your child?
Full beard for
And
some reason.
Triceratops horns.
You covering it up is only going to make them more self-conscious of the
Yeah.
fact that they're covered in burns
Oh yeah.
later in life.
Yeah.
You want to
you know?
normalize it.
Look, I'm sorry that your child mistook a wood chipper for a water fountain, but at some point, we as a group are going to have to get behind it. It takes a village.
I think people like that.
I would get it like I think the cutoff age, like if I were to have kids, to post their faces would probably be like, I don't know, 2.
What do you mean?
Because like I don't know, but before then it's like a baby's face isn't very recognizable. They're pretty similar.
And they don't carry that face for the rest of their life.
So you're saying
They have no
after
bone
that,
structure.
it's a little more controversial, but before it's fine?
Well, I think after that it depends on if you want your child to be on social media or not.
But why
right.
would...
But then that gets us to this, which is if you don't want your child to be on social media, then don't post them at all.
But I get posting them as a baby.
Fine, but that's not what the issue here is to cover the face up or not with an emoji.
Oh yeah, I'm agreeing with you. If you're gonna post the emoji, don't post
the kid
don't
at
post
all.
The picture, yeah.
You're right.
But I was saying like probably around 2 years old, like maybe I would just stop posting them.
There was something I was reading about this because I was so confused by this phenomenon. I've been seeing
It's
it
a
a
big
lot.
thing. It's a
big
big like,
thing.
People love to discuss it.
Big thing. I guess one thing that was said was that to cover the child's face up with an emoji actually puts them at a certain amount of risk because in the event of an emergency, like if you've lost your child, there's like no record. Like imagine if you put out an Amber Alert for your kid and people were like, "What's it look like?" And you just held up the photo with the fucking yellow face.
It's a crying, laughing face.
We have a policy. I know they're missing, and we hope they come back.
Just on the side of a milk carton, and it's just a fucking
She wasn't
star.
old enough to give us consent to post on social media.
I just don't know where people are getting, and that's very funny. But I just don't get where people are getting the idea that you shouldn't do it, because there's not even enough of a case study of kids getting posted on social media and then growing up and being like, "Hey, that was traumatic and damaging for me." I think it's like a heavy level of projection from parents.
I think it really
so young.
probably only impacts the child if your father is like, or your mother is like an actual like celebrity.
Right, like my friends from home, like it would be so weird if they did that.
Oh yeah,
who are you protecting your child from?
Or like your friends. You're protecting your child from your friends and family.
You're keeping your child off of your close friends in real life.
Well, Ron will never know what your kids look like. That's
honestly,
for sure.
I have no idea.
If you have like 10 million
friends,
followers, no, Ron's on close friends.
Do you see what I'm saying though?
I see what you're saying.
Because if you had kids and you only posted them to your close friends,
if I had kids, Ron wouldn't even know because he has me blocked.
I bet he has kids. Like you could probably tell me whether Lil Sass has kids or not.
Are you a father, Hairball?
You guys are always talking about what did you say? I think it was on an episode when Rome wasn't here.
What?
That you're a dad?
That I'm hiding a child. Or no, maybe you were here for that.
Yeah. You are hiding a child.
Yeah.
Pusha T, do you?
Pusha T?
Pusha T, frequent collaborator with Kanye West.
Yeah.
Do you respect his right to make that song that he made?
The one where he said that Pusha T had a child?
No, that was
the
Pusha
one with
T.
the 88
and he said
word.
that about Drake.
That he broke the news that Drake had a child.
He said, "You are hiding a child. Let that boy come home. Deadbeat motherfucker playing border control." Woo!
I never heard that song. I heard about the controversy, but I didn't know the lyrics. That's pretty good.
It's insane.
Wow,
we've talked about this. I think I've talked about this specific diss track on the podcast more episodes than I haven't. But
it's like our new Delta.
Yeah.
The story of Adidon.
The story of it's a good, and the cover is the single cover is Drake in blackface.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
He
takes it to another level. He is there's Drake's like manager OVO 40 has what, ALS?
I think so.
Oh, ice bucket challenge.
Yeah, exactly.
Right,
and then I think the end of the song he says OVO 40 hunched over like he 80. And then he says, "Tick, tick, tick, how much time that man got. He is sick, sick, sick."
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's not very nice.
No, not very nice.
Why was he so angry with him? Why was Pusha T so angry with Drake?
I don't know.
Because he's more handsome and more wealthy.
It can't just be jealousy. Those types of lyrics come from a different place.
Because he's built like a professor.
Professor X. Pusha T, I don't know much about him. He's sort of from a different era, right?
A little bit.
He was in the Clips. He kind of had a resurgence just talking about cocaine, but he got pushed by the dude who he got pressed by the dude who snatched Jack Doherty's chain this weekend. I don't know if any of you saw that, the chain snatcher.
Well, I saw Doherty got his chain snatched, but that happens like on a weekly basis, it seems.
Who's Jack Doherty?
This fucking like twink, like OnlyFans kid who like it just posts like rage bait.
Oh,
and he walks around with these like 800-pound black dudes, and then he'll just walk like you would be walking to the like say like we finish the podcast and you go to get the bike, you would just be walking, and then all of a sudden this 4-foot tall Jack Doherty kid,
little Irish boy,
he'd like bump into you and be like, "What are you gonna do about it?" And then like the black dudes would roll in.
You'd step to him. You'd be like, "I'm gonna kick your ass," and then there would be 2 security guards who are 8 foot tall. They're built like goddamn Leonidas. They're built like
the biggest.
Xerxes.
They're like I think they declined offers from the NFL to be this guy's security guard.
They film that.
Oh yeah.
So that's his thing.
He's just like a dick.
He's a streamer. I think he made a lot of money early, like pretty young, and then now he just like throws parties and just like.
And he's an OnlyFans guy.
Oh, my greaves are coming loose.
Is he OnlyFans?
Yeah.
So are the greaves supposed to go inward for like if you're a
suicidal.
You're listening to too much Paramore. You want to turn your greaves inward.
Yeah.
Hey, you're finally opening those?
I'm unbelievably hungry.
Good for you.
But are they for archery or?
No, this is, they knew that this was where the artery was. So they knew to cover your wrists. And a lot of armor would come down too to here. So, by the way, everything I'm saying right now is made up.
No, it's not.
It
Is
sounded
that
damn
true?
good.
Yeah.
The artery thing's real?
I don't know if that's why they did it, but there's an artery that goes from
Well,
here.
I know that.
What's it called? Like
That's
something with an
That's
N?
why you slice north-south when you're in the bathtub and you've taken your baby
Yeah.
aspirin.
Yeah. What is
Baby aspirin.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
It's a
know.
blood thinner.
What is that's so disgusting. But what is the
Billows. It billows
yeah, I
out
know,
in
I'm
the
aware.
tub.
I know.
Like a shark
I don't
scene.
like it. Ever since that 13 Reasons Why thing, I was like, that's disgusting.
Did
I don't
you
know
watch
much
that?
about that?
I didn't watch the show. Of course, I watched the scene though.
No,
What's
I don't
the,
even
what's
know
the
about
scene?
Yeah, it's the last episode. The girl kills herself.
That way.
Yeah.
And they show
it's
it?
insanely graphic.
And
And then they sent an email when I was in high school out to all the parents saying not to let their kids watch the show. So naturally, the first thing I did was like, all right, I got to see what this is.
Yep.
And then I watched it and I was like, I really wish I didn't see that.
You know what? Okay.
I've done that so many times in my life.
I saw something this weekend that upset my stomach and
Yeah.
my soul
Yeah.
on a level that I don't know what to do about it.
What'd
Yeah.
you see?
There was a clip on Twitter. Okay. There's this
Naturally.
white
That's where it would be.
kid who's kind of chunky. He's
Yeah.
a kid. He's chubby.
Oh, I saw that.
He's
one.
on a
playground.
playground and these kids are bullying him. These black kids are bullying him.
Uh-huh.
And one of them sort of like slaps him or something, and he runs after him and tries to like throw a shoe at the kid or something, and they run away and they're laughing, and then he starts running away, and then this bigger kid comes up from behind him and just right hooks him in the head as he's running away, knocks him down, and he's bleeding so profusely from his
Damn.
head, and the other kid comes over and starts beating him on the ground.
Oh,
And he's like, please stop. And he's crying.
He's crying like a little boy too. He is a little boy, but it's like if
Dude.
he was just bleeding, you'd be like, "Oh, it's so sad and
It
depressing."
It broke my heart on a level where I was just like utterly nauseated by it. And so then I did the natural thing to try to figure out what happened here.
Mhm.
And I went into the comments, race war,
Yep.
just an absolute race war. And then one guy was like, you guys are just trying to stir up trouble. These two made up and they're friends. And then posted a photo of them like shaking hands
In a hospital bed,
later.
he's
And I'm like,
intubated.
there's no way though. That's gotta be AI. Those two didn't fucking squash this.
No, never.
Did you see Did you see how much money the kid that beat him up made?
Wait, what? I don't know
The
anything
kid
about
that
the
beat him
story.
up has made like $700,000.
Can you? But did the white
They
kid
set
say
up a
something
go-
racist about the black kids?
No, but the kid who beat him up made like $700,000 on a GoFundMe.
I don't understand. There were comments
Well,
that
why
were
would- that
saying
doesn't
that the
make
white
sense at
kid had
all.
said something racist about the black kids, which fucking terribly at that point I hoped was true to justify this horrible thing that I had seen.
Well, then he would have been able to make some money on GoFundMe too.
You're absolutely
But wait,
right.
I don't understand. Why did the kid that killed the guy get money? He gets $700,000 for fighting a child.
Yeah. No, I was talking about the other guy that did that. That
Oh.
attacked the guy, and he got a bunch of money. He's killed the guy.
What?
Oh, yes. I've seen that.
I don't know anything about that.
Wait, what's his name?
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
there's another guy.
What is happening right now?
There's another guy named Carmelo Anthony that stabbed someone and then got a.
Dude, he has made way more money than $700,000.
Yeah, that's why it's that's why it was going
I
viral.
understand that Lala took a lot in the divorce, but there's $700,000. No,
The fact that they record that show in Red Hook is pretty crazy too. Carmelo Anthony's podcast.
That's where Francis is from. What's the town that you're actually from?
Red
called?
Bank.
Red Bank.
Nice button. You win. That was a good
Fucking
button
win
there.
again. Sass, you son of a bitch. But that was a saddening video. I saw like Dylan Dennis reposting it being like, this kid, any gym, I'll get him a membership until he's 18 or some shit so he can learn how to defend himself.
Okay.
Or you could just get him a gun.
Yeah,
No,
facts.
that only makes the problem worse. If anyone has any backstory and has dug any deeper on that clip, fuck's sake, man. It just was so heartbreaking, and it made me hate the fucking world.
Whoa. Thought you were going somewhere else with that.
Hate the fucking...
No! You know, look.
Don't say it, Francis.
No, let's relax. Let's be honest. That video could have gone in either direction.
Yeah.
You know, kids are just shitty. It doesn't matter. I don't know that there was a racial element to that. I don't know what the fuck happened in that video. But
Well, I'm sure that the developers at Twitter were licking their fucking chops. They're like, we're going to get this on everybody's homepage because if there's even a hint of a racial element, that's just going to be fucking blasted all over, not just Twitter, but TikTok, everything. Fucking racial right now.
dude, these
I
Grok,
can't believe it.
they're not clearing it up.
Grok?
Grok is not clearing stuff up.
No.
They're not clearing any of it up. I thought they were
But what's up with like? Is it real? The amount of people that are using Grok?
I see a
Every
Grok reference on every tweet.
On every single tweet. Grok, is this real?
Yeah.
Like, how do people pick that up that fast? To be
Like a tab at the bottom
you
of the
see
page.
it all the time.
I would never think to just be like at Grok.
Yeah, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
No, you would.
I will say I have fallen deep into the depths of ChatGPT.
There you go.
I'm
Using
deep
that-
into the depths of John Pork. I
Do you
just
ever
asked
see-
John Pork.
Do you ever see is it Monty Python
And the Holy Grail?
and the Holy Grail where there's the troll who has to have them they're trying to cross the bridge or something like that.
Yeah.
And what does he say? He's like, if you don't answer the riddle correctly, then you die.
Maybe.
And then they ask him a question and then he dies.
I don't exactly.
No, this isn't the reference I'm looking for. I'm so sorry. I'm thinking of Will Ferrell's character in Austin Powers 1, where he can't stand to be asked the same question 3 times. And if he just gets asked it 3 times, he gives you the answer.
Yes, I remember that.
Where is Dr. Evil's lair? I'll never tell you.
Oh yeah.
Where is Dr. Damn, 3 times. Yeah. Harry is like that. Where he makes an assertion, you question him, he asserts it again, you double down, and then he flips
back up
and
off the assertion?
immediately about faces.
What it really is I say something,
You are like Will Ferrell.
and then I have like I just say stuff, and then I have to think about what I said and be like, is that true? Does that make sense at all? And
Well,
then
this-
I gotta like work from reverse.
I also think that this podcast isn't like necessarily a representation of all of our steadfast and long-held beliefs about the world.
Oh
No.
no.
I mean, look at what we look like right now. If anyone is coming to this fucking podcast to find, deeply written ideology and life advice, I try occasionally, to be honest, but
Well, you got me those bassinets, those snooze, the bassinets with the bouncing.
So
yeah.
tell me about
Apparatus.
these.
I went to Kith Kids.
They're so fucking nice.
Is Kith Kids a real thing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's one in Dumbo. It's pretty sick.
There's multiple Kith Kids. You could drop
It's just like the clothing brand, but for kids.
They sell cool stuff.
You could buy like Jordans. You could
Huh?
buy like newborn Jordans.
And given his battle rap background, I thought father, son, blend.
Holy Spirit.
I went to Kith in LA when we were there for the Super Bowl. And I don't think I've ever been like less connected to a type of like shop. Like I walked in and I was like, there's not a single thing in here that I would ever wear
No?
or buy.
I
Some of the shoes are
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
The hoodie that you wore last week, I could see them selling something like that in a Kith store.
Just the gray hoodie.
Yeah, that bluish grayish one.
Oh, yeah, I got that on Instagram.
Yeah, I could see that being Kith adjacent. But it's like Kith is like a modernization of old like polo stuff. Like it's like a souped up version of like a Ralph Lauren throwback idea. Kind of.
Yeah, but it's like, how does that even play? Because like Ralph Lauren is still expensive.
I don't know.
Like it's like you can go for like a vintage Ralph Lauren thing, but Ralph Lauren is still making it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Would you rather just go to the source?
I feel like you could, but I feel like Ralph Lauren is such like an old money feel, and I think Kiss is like a new money feel.
I'm surprised you don't wear more Ralph Lauren. I feel like they make some sick stuff.
They do.
But it's not like modern.
I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do for the Ryder Cup? I'm gonna go and I'm gonna get like an old school golf outfit.
That's cool.
Wear one of those hats.
Yeah,
yeah, the messenger hat.
You should wear. Ralph Lauren always sponsors the Olympic teams, I think, and they always come out wearing it for the opening ceremonies. You should wear a Ralph Lauren golf outfit.
Did you hear that subtle correction? Double down.
No.
Ralph Lauren.
I didn't want to do it, but I couldn't
You have
help
to.
myself.
It's not Laurent.
No. He's American.
I said it. I think I said it multiple times too.
I actually
a lot of people say Ralph Lauren.
Yeah,
it's Ralph Lauren.
That's interesting. I never knew that. Have you ever heard someone pronounce? How would you pronounce the car that has the 4 circles as its logo?
Audi.
Yeah. Have you ever heard anyone say Audi?
That pisses me off.
People in the Midwest do that. Freaks.
Audi? Add it to the list.
Audi.
Add it to the list of things pissing me off.
It is pretty funny. I didn't know that until college.
You were saying it wrong? Or you didn't know they said it like that?
I didn't know other people had ever pronounced it Audi.
They say in the Midwest, they say roof too instead of roof.
They say that in Maine.
Roof.
I brought that from Maine to
rough,
and people kept saying I was wrong.
What, Audi?
Rough.
Or rough. Audi rough or Ralph Lauren?
Rum. I used to say rum.
Rum is rough. Milk.
I never said milk. I would hear it,
crazy.
But milk was crazy.
Milk should be a publicly hangable offense.
Milk is like Maine's version of what happens in fucking New Zealand.
Yeah.
Milk.
I used to say pillow instead of pillow.
That's tough.
I used to say laws instead of lays.
You ever heard someone say turlet instead of toilet?
No,
turlet I've heard.
You've never heard turlet? And
no.
I'm not even talking about ironically or with any sort of smile.
I could see that being like a Philly thing.
People say turlet. Turlet instead of, and knowing it's spelled toilet.
Yeah.
I don't think they're trying though. I think that they just can't. Turlet? I don't know. I just think it sounds Pennsylvania, like Pittsburgh almost. Turlet? I don't know. It's disgusting.
Guys, Son of a Boy Dad is brought to you by Stetson. We have Stetson Cooling Moisture Aftershave. I have very sensitive skin. This is a line of unbelievable grooming products, and you can step up your grooming game with the new Stetson Cooling Men's Grooming Collection. If your face ever feels tight and dry after shaving, this is your fix. I have very sensitive skin, as I mentioned, both metaphorically and literally. And the only way that I can prevent annoying and uncomfortable razor burn from happening is by using this absolutely fantastic Cooling Moisture Aftershave. To me, there's no better feeling than a fresh shave. And I do that Home Alone thing where I rub my hands together with a little dollop of my Stetson Cooling Moisture Aftershave. And then I clap it on both cheeks, but I don't scream the way Macaulay Culkin does because it feels good.
It's nice.
It's really quite nice.
They also have this face and beard cooling exfoliant wash. It's so nice. And it smells it smells like an expensive hotel. It smells so nice.
You would know you were at a nice hotel if they had this line of products in their bathroom. This is the Cooling Shave Oil. You put this on right before maybe you do your shave cream.
Feel how nice it is on my skin.
Yeah. Oh my God. Wow.
Isn't that nice?
It's quite nice. And this is the Face and Beard Cooling Exfoliant Wash. So you can use this if you have a beard and you're just trying to exfoliate, which you should do maybe once or twice a week. Their high-performance formulas use advanced cooling technology that feels amazing on your skin, seriously, and they smell incredible thanks to the Stetson Spirit fragrance. The full lineup of products covers you start to finish pre-shave, shave, and post-shave. There's a 2-in-1 face and beard exfoliant wash, a breakthrough cooling. Let me make sure I have these in front of me. This is the Cooling Shave Oil. This is the Moisture Aftershave. The 2-in-1 face and beard cooling exfoliant wash.
Let me just say this. No Bulldog, Stetson's Bennett.
Yeah.
Okay?
Nice. Smooth shave and 2 refreshing aftershave options. There's the Moisture Splash and the Soothing Balm. Premium formulas, no fuss grooming, and each one just $7.97. That's
Incredible.
crazy.
That's so good.
We all have to shave, man. Not all of us, but if you shave, you know how expensive shaving products can get. That's nothing. $7.97. The full collection is now available exclusively at Walmart, in stores, and online. That's Stetson products, specifically the Stetson Spirit Fragrance Shave line, Stetson Cooling Men's Grooming Collection. Check it out at Walmart now.
Okay, guys, let's take a second to talk about BetterHelp. Son of a Boy Dad is sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health awareness is growing, but there's still progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent survey say that they have avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment. When people hesitate to get help, it doesn't just affect them, it impacts families, workplaces, and entire communities. This is Mental Health Awareness Month. Let's encourage everybody to take care of their well-being and break the stigma. And the world is going to be a better place when people are happy and healthy. I have used BetterHelp myself. It's so convenient. You really don't have an excuse not to do it. It's right there on your phone. You can talk to somebody. You can message with somebody. You can go face-to-face. You can go audio only. They'll meet you on your terms, and they'll get you right. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist. And the good thing is you can jump from one to another. It doesn't even matter. We are all better with help. Visit betterhelp.com/son to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/son.
Alrighty, let's talk about DraftKings.
DraftKings.
The eyes of the horse racing world are on Baltimore this weekend. The race is on, but who will rise above the rest and be crowned king of the track? Find out on DK Horse, the #1 downloaded horse betting app. DraftKings is turning up the thrill with the King of the Track promotion. Here's how to get in. Head to the DK Horse app, opt in, and bet $5 or more on a horse to win with the stakes. If your pick crosses the finish line first, you'll win a share of $150,000 prize pool. Who will reign supreme? Download the DK Horse Racing app and use code BOYDAD. That's code BOYDAD on DK Horse. Bet $5 or more on a horse to win the stakes for your shot at a piece of $150,000. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours.
Hey guys, can we talk about Game Time?
Game Time.
I just made we'll talk about NBA playoffs first, and then I'll talk about my purchase.
Well, the NBA playoffs are here, and the only place to buy hard to get playoff tickets is Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets.
I just bought tickets for Mother's Day for my wife.
Yeah.
On Game Time.
Oh, you got a new holiday.
It's insane.
That's a whole extra holiday.
It's the same week as her birthday, too. How insane is that?
That's crazy.
Expensive. But when
with Game Time, though.
With Game Time, well, they get great deals, but also it makes it easy to get if you're looking for a Mother's Day or like something for the lucky lady or man in your life, so easy to buy tickets with Game Time. Got our tickets to see Lil Wayne.
What?
At Madison Square Garden.
Wow.
No way.
That'll be sick.
Bro. Incredible seats, really good deals. I think better deals. So I went to like the other ticketing apps. I don't even want to say what they are, or like the one where it feels like you're buying it from the actual. And this was cheaper tickets in a better section.
Of course.
It's so insane. I was like, it was like $500 something a ticket, and I get to do a song with Lil Wayne.
Wow!
I get to go on stage and do a milli with him.
That's gotta be exclusive to Game Time.
No, it's just such good deals. It's like if you say you want to go to a Yankees game, they'll let you like do batting practice, or maybe like if they're slumping, they'll let you hit in the 7 hole.
Immersive.
Take the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets with GameTime. Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use code BOYDAD for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and use code BOYDAD, BOYDAD, for $20 off. Download the GameTime app today. What time is it?
Game time.
I learned some new Japanese words this week. This one was Heioi Bikani, and it was popular during the Edo period of Japan between 1603 and 1868, where rich women would hire female servants called Heiyo Bakani to take the blame for their farts.
Oh my God.
Interesting.
So you hire a girl to follow you around and you just rip ass all day and she has to be like, "Oh, excuse me."
It's not the worst. It's not the worst idea.
It's such a good idea.
That's
Is
not
that
a
a
bad
common
idea.
thing, or is that only like the top 1%? Or are they just giving those out for free?
I think that you had to be rich as hell to have a Heiyo Bakani.
To have a personal fart eater?
And what are they is that the only thing they do you think?
No.
They probably suck and fuck.
I was going to say, yeah, that's also their boy.
Yeah.
And come hither, Hakani. I'm hungry.
But the boys, the Greek boys couldn't take credit for a grown Japanese woman's fart or even a grown Greek man's fart because they're probably so damn tight.
Well, no, those boys, they're not tight is the point. They are worked in. And they don't know if they're farting. It just comes
leaks.
out like a wind tunnel. There's no squeak, no sound. It's just leaving their bodies.
It's just Darth Vader's.
Yeah, it's like trying to frost the inside of a car window to play tic-tac-toe.
It sounds like wind on a sail. Just like
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, the trash bag on the window.
That's so nasty.
I'm going to get it fixed. I'm going to get it fixed.
I'm on the way there now.
It's freezing in here.
What is it called? Rejuvenation? Getting my asshole rejuvenated?
Yeah. Or what's it? There's a vaginal word for it too.
Vaginoplasty?
For vagination.
I thought that's what it was. I thought it was vaginal
Rejuvenation?
surgery. Isn't
They
like
put
a place,
the word vag into it in a fun, like,
there's a
girly
place
way.
by our office, like up.
that does vaginal
That does,
rejuvenation.
yeah.
Do they?
Like very close. It's probably not
I'm
around
sure that's
still.
not like after a long flight, they just go in there and let them spritz it with some aloe vera.
No, I think they tighten it up.
Oh.
They're reaching in from like your inside your ears and like hiking it up like a wedgie.
Yeah.
Oh,
They're
it's a
pulling you in.
facelift,
Yes.
but down there.
Yes.
Wow. Golly. Poor women.
No, I think that's nice for them. Women love cosmetic procedures. Two other Japanese words I learned this week were komorebi, which is the light passing through the leaves of a tree.
Oh, I love that.
A uniquely komorebi.
Yeah.
A uniquely experience. And then kuchi sabishi, which is wanting to eat out of boredom. And I feel like that's got to have you written all over it. The kuchi sabishi.
Yeah, I've got some coochie sabishi a lot.
Yeah.
I'm always getting coochie sabishi.
I feel like you've had so much coochie sabishi. You're getting a ton of coochie sabishi.
Boy, I haven't moved in a while. I should do some coochie sabishi.
It is nice to do some coochie sabishi, but once you know that there's a...
That's my entire plan for today is coochie sabishi.
We got Knicks Celtics
I know.
talking ball.
Yeah, if we want to talk ball, we could talk
I
some
lost
coochie sabishi.
a devastating bet on Saturday. I took Derek White 4 threes. He went 3 for 3, and then I think he missed 5 in a row. And I put a lot of money on it.
Ooh.
Yeah,
How much?
$150.
Oh, that's not much.
For me, that's 150 units.
That's not very much for you.
That's 10 minutes of stand-up. That's 10 minutes of your craft that you've honed throughout your entire life.
That's not that much money for you.
Well, I'll tell you what really went down.
Francis, let's get this for your photo dump.
Yeah, winter photo dump was. I don't want to. I don't want to say anything, but it's the spring, and it's much closer to the summer than
It's
to
80
the
degrees
winter.
out.
You're going to season shame me here?
I'm just saying there is an edit button on Instagram if you want to just throw in like late spring /winter dump.
I'm not
I'm just saying
not gonna
for
do
your
that.
sake, like people might be confused.
That's okay.
They might be thrown off.
Let them.
All right.
You ever heard about that?
It's scary to do a photo dump.
It was scary to do a photo dump, but if I'm honest with you guys, on brand today, that whole photo dump was a Trojan horse to slide in my Dallas plug for my Dallas shows this weekend.
Oh, of course.
5 shows at the Dallas Improv.
So good.
Tickets at punchup.live/Francis
That was so
Ellis.
sneaky.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday was the last slide, and you figure people are going to go through these.
It was the caption as well.
It was.
That's pretty much the reason I do most things, is just to hopefully get a photo that I can post on Instagram so that I can promote my dates.
Bingo.
Going to Wyoming to fish. I don't even like fishing.
That's why you've
for the
been.
photos.
That's why you've been doing Kuchu Sabishi, because you got dates in Japan coming up. You want to Trojan horse into Osaka.
What do the
Kuchi-sabishi.
Japanese even consider as kuchi-sabishi?
Well, that's probably because they're aware of it. That's probably why they're skinny as fuck.
Yeah. They're
But
like,
they
they have like a handful of peanuts.
There's such a big snacking culture, I feel like.
In Japan?
They have so many stores
True.
that sell just Hello Kitty gummies.
Do they though? Or is that just stuff that they send to America and we're like, holy shit, Japanese candy?
The only person who can answer this
Is Ron.
and wait, what'd you call him?
Ron?
Dude, you don't know my real name? What the heck, bro?
I call you Ron all the time, I feel like.
Yeah, you do.
Just because of the Pat Bev. It's one of the funniest clips of all time.
Yeah,
You ever seen it?
No.
It's the first episode of Pat Bev, right? It was like the teaser.
You called him Ron?
Yeah.
But he called me Ron in like a text message, and I was like, "Hey, I know I present as a Ron, but my name is actually different than that." Then in the first episode, he still
Yeah, it's great.
It'd be so funny if he spelled Ron, R-O-N, with an umlaut over the O.
Ron, like I'm a German DJ.
Yeah.
Oh, we're going to see Ron at Bergheim.
Ron, is Japan big on snacking culture, or is that just something
Like,
that they
were
bring
you
over
snacking
here?
out there, or were you
I
not
was snacking. I know that 7-Eleven culture is big out there.
So yes.
But you get like an egg salad sandwich at the 7-Eleven.
So it's more of a Sheets vibe.
Yeah, but you go into the Don Quixote.
Go to egg salad.
And you get a fucking. I think that they have like rare versions of like M&Ms and stuff like that.
They have, I mean, it seems like, surprisingly, considering like we're the fattest country, right, by like a lot, you would think we would have better snacks, but we'd really like, when I was in Vancouver, their snacks are way better than our snacks.
Oh, really?
Way better.
It's because we're putting the Red 6 and everything.
Oh, yeah.
We're just getting fat as fuck off the Red 6 and the fucking semaglutide.
That was also a very good spot, though. I posted it on my Instagram story. I tried to get the guy some business.
Oh,
but-
you talked about that.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's it. And it's always about how good I feel like the weed is. It has to have some sort of correlation to how good the snacks are.
No, this was just good snacks.
Yeah, but
Hot Ones, Pringles, fire.
Yeah, you're in Vancouver, right? Is
Which
that where
is,
you were?
Well, New Westminster.
You were in
BC.
New Westminster, and that's where it's that true outdoor.
It's the Humboldt of Canada.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think like
rich soil, deep roots.
No, not in New Westminster. Maybe in
Tall
Vancouver.
So it wasn't
Sativas.
smoking good?
I don't think weed's legal in New Westminster.
Dank, bud.
No, I think it's like that's the epicenter. I heard that the cartel moved into New Westminster because there's so much weed business going on that they wanted a slice of the pie.
Yeah.
I didn't see a single dispensary the whole time. When I was in Toronto, it's like you turn right and there's a dispensary. There's dispensaries everywhere.
You're a kid in a candy store.
Me? No.
Yeah. Kid in
I
a-
would walk by and I'd flip them off and I would
Kid.
say, pigs!
You're indoctrinating our youth.
Yeah.
This is grooming. What you're seeing is grooming. It's not actually cool. Yeah, I don't know that. I think that they snack over there, but I think that they're also snacking on just like wasabi,
Yeah.
just like
It's a tough snack.
like a river trout,
I like a
a
wasabi
3-inch river trout that they deep fried. I love a wasabi pea.
Wasabi pea.
Oh my god, it's
You don't
so
like a
nice.
wasabi pea?
peas?
Yeah.
Such a nice
Those
snack.
are phenomenal. But just straight wasabi.
Nobody ever was talking about.
I thought
just
I
snacking
was
on
picturing
wasabi.
like a dude with like a little
Paste?
ice cream cup just, just fucking
Ugh.
hammering wasabi.
Just a businessman drunk off of his ass.
Yeah.
Clearing out his sinuses.
Do they throw wasabi in like ramen there?
No, but I found there's a spicy ramen, or there's a ramen restaurant right around the corner from us, and I went there.
It sounds like you've been like 90 times.
I've been to that place. That place is good.
I went on Wednesday and got some ramen over there. It was spicy. It was nice, but I don't think it was wasabi that made it spicy.
Dude, ramen is better than pho.
Yeah, by like miles.
Big time better.
Yeah.
Big time better.
I don't even know the last time I had pho.
Pho.
I don't.
Pho is trash.
Pho is really not that good.
What is pho? Thai?
Vietnamese, I think?
Vietnamese?
Something like that.
Oh, okay, it's Vietnamese.
Ramen is like consistently one of the better foods. Like a meal, like a good, like if you go sit down and have a good ramen, you're walking out of that place with like a little pep in your step.
There's a ramen near Union Square. It's dark inside, really dark.
That sounds awesome.
All those places are, well, like pitch black.
Really dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want the chef to look like a catfish.
I wish they had that shit in.
I want him to be like stewing over a pot that's never been washed before. Just like an old catfish, like looking at me. He never left. The floor has never been cleaned. He's just like a witch's cauldron of ramen.
I really wish they had those restaurants in America that they have in Japan where you just go and you just look at a wall and sit in like a pod by yourself and just hammer a meal.
It's so nice.
Imagine just tonight, just throw up the Celtics game on your phone and just slam ramen.
Don't talk to anyone.
No one's looking at you.
Hunched over your.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Just slurping like a absolute savage.
Yeah.
You're in there for 10 minutes.
It's so funny that there's such a polite culture.
That is the problem. You're probably in and out
Just
quick.
in and out.
You drink the entire bowl in one gulp like Homer Simpson.
Gotta get back to the
I
bar.
told you guys about when I would Uber Eats the ramen.
No.
This was one of the. I don't know. I feel like I might have told this story. I got ramen. It was like over a year ago, probably longer. I Uber Eats real ramen, which I had never done before, but I was craving it, and I was like, I want real ramen, and it showed up, and it was this big plastic bowl, and I opened up the bowl, and it was a lot shallower than it looked, and it was just noodles and the meat, and I was like, oh, I must have ordered the wrong thing.
No, I know where you're going
And
with
then
this. Yeah.
I ate just all the
The
noodles
ingredients
and the meat. And then I was like, why is it still hot? Like, why is the bowl still hot? And I realized that it was this like double layered bowl. And you had to like rip off the top bowl. And then there was the broth underneath it.
Yeah, they do it separately so it doesn't get super soggy.
But it was just one container. Like nothing would have made you think like, oh,
there's a secret
compartment in here.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
It was, and then the next time I got it, it was incredible. But
you had
the
to
first
pull
time,
a book out of a shelf.
Yeah.
Open up the
so I just
bottom
ate like
of the ramen.
thick, dry noodles. And I was like, all right. I was like, it's not terrible, but I would have.
It feels a little bit more Italian.
Yeah.
This is what Marco Polo brought back on the Silk Road.
I also remember I like demanded a refund and got one. I was like, this is not what I ordered.
They gave me spaghetti.
You gave me raw
refund.
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Raw ramen.
Damn. There was a place in Japan that we went to for ramen that was supposed to be so fucking good. And I literally waited in an alley so tight that I couldn't stand shoulder to shoulder. I had to like stand sideways. And it was a very Japanese experience. And you got upstairs and there was like 3 seats. And there was like 5 seats open, but the catfish back there working just weren't even letting anybody in. It was so authentic of an experience. And it was this fish ramen. It was very fishy, but it was fucking delicious. And then we went to this bar called Deathmatch in Hell. This badass fucking bar where they're playing all of these slasher movies and have horror films going the entire time. Drank a bunch of pints there, met a bunch of foreigners. Everything was 666 yen. Incredible time. We bar hopped around. But then by the end of the night, the fish ramen hit the bottom of my stomach so hard. And I wasn't going to be able to make it back to my hotel to shit. So I had to go back to the only bar that was still open. And it was Deathmatch in Hell. And I had to pretend to like small talk with the guy there. So it didn't look like I was only coming back to his tiny ass bar in Japan to just use his tiny ass bathroom. But eventually I just had to I lit it on fire.
Were
Hot ramen shit. It came out hotter than it came in.
Were the toilets tiny?
This one, like every other toilet, like wiped my ass for me and said thank you.
Yeah.
Like this one was fucking good old fashioned American plumbing.
There's a lot. One of the worst feelings has to be being at a bar, knowing you have to shit, and knowing the bathroom is like the smallest bathroom you've ever seen.
The bathroom, like if I reached out the door of the bathroom, I could touch the tabs to pull the beer.
Oh,
it was the smallest possible bathroom.
That means that when you open the bathroom door, you probably made the rest of the restaurant smell.
It wasn't a restaurant. It was Deathmatch in Hell. The fucking...
Oh, that's why they call it that.
It might be because it's close to the ramen place enough where people are just shitting up a storm. But it was like this gnarly place that is the only place I felt comfortable leaving a fucking
what I would do?
Weapon behind.
If I owned a bar, I would make sure bar could be a normal size. Could be
would
just
it be like one of those weed booze crossover bars?
No, it would be a bar.
Why?
What do you mean why?
Well, you don't even drink.
Who cares?
It would probably be like the bar from the guy from Summer House who opened up the sober bar in Greenpoint, and they just sell $18 cocktails and there's no alcohol.
I would never do
be
that.
A bar just with pre-rolls.
I'm an entrepreneur. I'm always looking to expand my net worth. So opening a bar is something I've thought about. And the bar that I would open, what I would do is I'd make it normal size. Like it could be the size of this room. It could be a small dive bar. But the bathroom, airport size bathrooms, like LaGuardia, 70 stalls.
So maybe the front
urinals.
is like this little Japanese bar where it's super tiny.
Yeah.
You go to the back, the bathroom is a fucking warehouse.
Exactly.
It's an airport. It's like a hangar.
But it's just somewhere that people feel safe knowing like, all right, I can go out tonight and I don't even really have to worry about if I have to shit before.
You know what you could do there, which is something that I've always wanted to do? I've always been fascinated by glory holes, but I would be way too afraid to do it in a seedy truck stop bathroom, which is where you typically find them. You'd make a classy glory
I'd
want a safe glory hole.
Yeah.
I'd want to practice safe glory hole.
Yeah.
With, where like the rim of the cutout is padded with.
Maybe it has like an automatic like condom dispenser. Like as you put your dick in it, it just puts the condom on.
That's not a bad idea. And you have some sense of what the other person on the other side.
Like their credit score and their like weight.
They're attractive.
Okay, that works. Credit score and weight, I think, is a good one.
That's fair. Like it's like nothing crazy, but like how
gender.
Yeah,
no, it's too much.
It's too much info.
Speaking of, what does this mean to you?
And knock on wood.
What does that mean in the context of what we've just been talking about?
Like it would be like if you said something that wasn't going to happen, and then you're like, knock on wood, I don't want to jinx it.
No. Just this sound.
Glory hole's all full.
No. When you're in a glory hole, you go like this to let the person know I'm about to bust.
Oh, interesting.
You knock on the wall.
Really?
And just lets them know, here it comes.
Couldn't you just say?
That kind of ruins the mystique. The whole idea, I believe, is that there's this
no problem, boss.
Anonymity.
You got it, man.
Let her rip. I'm open.
I'm ready when you are. Imagine.
Hold on, let me get my boy in here. My catcher.
I've been ready.
Yeah, the whole point of the glory hole is that it is the anonymous element of it that provides the allure, right?
I suppose.
You're not looking. Let's put it this way. Nobody's looking through the glory hole first.
I think they are.
No, they're not, dude. You just go dick to mouth.
But who's doing mouth and why? You're just sitting there waiting for a dick to come through?
That's my issue. I want in your bar for there to be someone relatively attractive on the other side.
Realistically, that probably won't happen at my bar because my bar's really just for people who have to shit a lot.
Well,
that's kind of the whole idea behind my bar is it's a safe place to shit.
2 birds, 1 stone.
You think that glory holes, do you think people have parallel thinking and glory holes popped up like all over the place whenever bathroom stalls were invented? Or do you think it was one people heard about it and they're like, you gotta fucking hear this. You gotta hear about this incredible idea they're doing down in West Virginia.
Probably something like that, right? I feel like the glory hole probably wasn't invented until like
The Stonewall riots.
Yeah, at least like the 1950s, if I had to guess.
When like,
because back then it was like, why would you need a glory hole? In like the 1800s, didn't they? I think they just raped.
That's not where I thought you were going with that. I thought you were going to say like outhouses just had such crumbly walls anyway that like you could stick your dick through the gap between the stones. But you went rape.
I think I mean, realistically.
well, it's gay, isn't
I
it?
don't think people were coming up with like creative ways to have sex.
I think
Yeah.
as
Just
long
they
as
were
sex
just
has
having
existed,
sex.
I think as long as sex has existed, people have been creative about it.
Yeah, you knew you were in a bad glory hole situation when you're going to the bathroom and the door was kicked in. Oh, no. All right. Well,
There's just claw marks on the back of this stall. I think that like when I went through Pompeii, it's like fully preserved, and like most of the town's economy was like brothels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And there were penis-shaped arrows going towards the brothels in the town. And when you go to the brothel, there's like menus of all the positions. Like I don't think sexual enlightenment is like a product of like repression in the 1950s. I think that people have been getting freaky with their mouths since mouths existed.
what a wonderfully kind of progressive take and sort of much more sort of circumspect and modern than Harry's bluntness.
People were raping in the 1800s. Abraham Lincoln was raping.
Probably. Yeah. Yeah. Most likely.
No, not Lincoln. But he was probably, I mean, from the new stuff you hear about Lincoln, and it sucks so bad that like just the rumor of Lincoln being gay, in the back of my mind, I'm automatically always thinking that Lincoln was gay now. I'm thinking Lincoln was squatting at a glory hole, all 6'6" of him, folded in half.
You think he was? Oh, you think he was taken?
I think he was sucking.
Oof.
I think he was keeping a bunch of dicks under that hat.
There's some bony cheeks.
True. Yeah. What was under that?
You are
hat?
not clapping those cheeks.
Oh no, he's too gaunt. That's probably why they were so
Banging clemmer.
sallow. Is that the word sallow?
Sallow.
What is sallow?
Sallow means like yellow and wan in the skin.
Wan. Wan is such a good
I
word.
think it's like, sickly color.
Oh, unhealthy yellow or pale brown. Wow. So what is it when your cheeks are sunken in? What am I thinking of?
Gaunt?
Gaunt, probably.
Mm.
Gaunt is what I was thinking of. I started watching this shit about the Karen Reed trial.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what do you mean? The doc?
It was just on in my house. So
The
I
actual trial that's going on right
No,
now?
no, the doc.
Oh
The
yeah.
doc. Didn't
I
bitch.
recommend that?
Yes, you
Yes.
guys talked about
Oh,
it for
okay.
a while, so
Yeah,
that's
good,
why.
good. Sorry.
That's why I'm bringing it up,
Yeah.
because you guys had talked about it. I've never seen someone who loves attention more than that woman.
That's
Yeah.
one of the more like. That's one of the reasons that it's hard to be like she's innocent.
Yeah, she's like loving
Yeah.
it, like fucking like serving for the camera.
Dude, the way that she talks about how she was blackout drunk while driving, like so nonchalant, is so bizarre to
And
me.
then at the end of the trial, she's like, I need a drink. It's
Yeah.
like, maybe don't. Because I
Yeah.
could tell you're dating that lawyer now and he's going to fucking die if you
Yeah.
have one.
Her defense
Whoa.
is like, she's like, I mean, I don't remember. I was fucking hammered. And you're like, she was like, I was driving home. I was wasted. And you're like, yeah, no, that's also, you're also going to go to jail for that.
Because she doesn't remember killing him and was like making calls as soon as she's like, wait, did I fucking kill him?
Yeah.
And they're like taking the fact that she made calls at 5 a.m. as this absolving.
Did she, I don't think she made calls though, did she? I thought it was the wife of the husband
Oh,
whose
maybe.
house.
I don't fucking know.
I think she was the one that was
I was
making
only watching it
calls.
with one eye, but I couldn't help but notice how much of a attention whore she
Yeah,
is.
100%.
I don't think this thing fits me very well.
I think you look great, bro. I think pull that nipple back
I
out,
feel like you're
bro.
missing your top half.
I think this is about to be our most viewed episode ever because you have a loincloth made out of sandbags right now.
Didn't you see the cover of the costume bag? I'm wearing it the way that guy is.
You honestly should be the model for this costume now.
Too bright. I'm what they call bright white.
You look like Caesar
True.
Augustus right now.
You would never be in that fit, realistically.
Let me see what Caesar Augustus
What was
looked like.
What was his name? The guy on the Knicks last year, the tall guy.
Daniel Hartenstein?
Yeah, and he said it turned out that he was black, but he in an interview he said he was
bright-skinned.
Bright-skinned? Is that what it is?
Like
Yeah.
people are light-skinned and he's bright-skinned.
I'm a bright-skinned white.
What?
Bro, you do. You look exactly like Caesar Augustus right now.
Yeah,
Let me see.
that.
I see it.
Less rusted than this particular statue. How much do you think that they were face tuning the statues? Like, do you think they were putting Instagram? Do you think that the sculptors were putting Instagram filters on the statues and making people way hotter?
Definitely.
Or do you think that was like a pretty accurate representation of Caesar Augustus's jawline?
Probably pretty accurate. I mean, people were just so much healthier.
What?
Just from like moving around.
They exercised a lot.
But I thought we established that people died at like 37 was like grandparent age because
there was no medicine. But they still ate healthy.
They were like eating the mold off the bread
constantly.
Well, it was just perpetual state of war. I mean, you don't need January 1st to come around and be like, my New Year's resolution is I'm going to hit the gym every day.
The idea,
here come the Goths again.
Yeah. The idea.
The Gauls are raiding the gates.
Gaul is at the door.
Yeah.
I was listening to something the other day when they were talking about that exercise itself is like a modern idea.
Yeah,
like exercise wasn't a thing.
Maybe, but they had the Olympic Games, right? They had the games and they had wrestling.
But that was probably just fun for them.
Throwing the discus.
But I think it's like who can throw something the farthest.
But the idea of like getting up and being like, oh, I got to work out was never a thing because they would do that naturally throughout the day.
Well, but they would get in shape as soldiers, they would be in shape for that. They would march and they would train.
But I agree with you that like a lot of working out.
I'm just telling you what I heard.
I think it's just a product of people just sitting around all day and they're like, I got to fucking do something. My life is so easy that I'm getting fat.
Well, the reasoning behind it is apparently in our DNA, when you have nothing to do, your instant reaction is to sit down so that you don't burn calories.
And yet yours is to go to the fridge and sippy cuckoo.
Yeah.
What is sippy cuckoo?
Doko Bakobi.
What was it again?
Yeah. Eating out of boredom.
Oh, Coochie Sebastian or whatever.
I was sad you didn't pick it up when I tried.
But no, apparently that's what it is.
Yeah.
Wait, say it again. And people their default is sitting down.
Like apparently the reason that we're all so lazy and fat is because our ancestors, when they had nothing to do, they would just do nothing because they wanted to preserve energy and not burn calories, so they didn't have a lot of food. And so now everything is so easy, so your instant reaction is to always just be sitting.
Joe Rogan podcast, check it out.
I listened to this on. I can tell you guys where I heard it.
I believe it. I mean, it is. We're gonna have some rewiring to do, and like whatever genetics are happening, like whatever long-term seeds we're trying to plant genetically is getting all fucked up right now with how fast everything's changing.
This was from Michael Easter.
Like genetically, people's heads are probably going to wind up on the front of their body so they can look at their phone better.
Right.
Yeah, this was the Embracing Discomfort course by Michael Easter on the Waking Up app.
Is he the main narrator on
I believe
app?
that was lesson 3, Enter the Wilderness.
I got to check out that app.
Or it might have been lesson 2, Be a 2%er. Most people take the elevator. Be someone who takes the stairs instead.
I don't take the stairs because I've worked out. I tell myself I've earned the right to take the elevator.
I took the stairs all day today, everywhere.
That is counterintuitive, though, to like do a Stairmaster for hours so you don't have to take one flight of stairs up.
I only do the Stairmaster in case there's another 9-12.
You want to be ready for 9-12.
Well, it was like, 78 floors.
Yeah.
I'm flying.
I'm back on the cardio game big time. I'm going to go run after this.
Yeah?
Yeah, me and Roan's discussion about running.
Lit a fire.
And then I was talking to Mook about exercising. And
Connor?
we were saying, he was saying that he's building up to running. And I was like, yeah. I was like, me too. I was like, I don't think I even can run. And then I was like,
trot?
And then I was like, I think I'm being a little dramatic about this. And then I just ran 2 miles and it was easy as fuck.
Yeah.
It's easy as fuck. Well, you just can do it at your own, as fast
I
as
just
you
went
want.
slow, yeah.
You just go slow.
Mook's at a canter right now? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, he's not ready for a full gallop.
He doesn't like the treadmill.
Treadmill does suck.
I love it. I know it's like easier and it's not as like
in some ways
beneficial.
it's easier, and in some ways I find it harder.
It's boring to me.
Boring as shit.
It's just very. You're just. I mean,
I watched The Last Dance while I was running. That was what I did. Got me through it easily.
Nice.
Took that shit personal.
Oh, I watched Warfare. Have you seen it?
Yeah, saw it in theaters.
Did you see that?
No.
Oh man.
What'd you
Is it
think?
really good?
Well, it's really interesting. I mean, it's unlike any movie I've ever seen. It's so specific to a very small moment in time, but it goes through it. my guess in the most realistic way to replicate a war scene ever.
That sounds awesome. Better than 1917 or what's that other one that came out? Huh? That All Quiet on the Western Front.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
Those
so
are like
dark.
Those are pretty different movies.
Yeah.
But I felt like they were really realistic depictions of warfare.
There's no real storyline to this movie. There's no, you don't know the characters,
No.
You don't know their backstories, you don't know their interactions or their interpersonal relationships. You don't even really know what they're doing there.
Doesn't seem like they do either.
It's almost like a play. Imagine there's a play set in like a subway car. That's kind of like what this is like. Except it's a rubble home.
Yeah.
So it's going to wind up as a play itself.
You could easily see how this would have been adapted from a play. I
hate a fucking movie that I'm like, oh, this is a fucking play.
Yeah.
You would like the movie. The movie's sick.
Fences? You ever see that fucking Denzel movie?
That's
like
I
was like, this is a fucking play. I'm watching a play right now.
I went to the play with Denzel Washington, and it was unbelievable.
The movie because that's a play.
It should have been only a play.
Yeah, it's a play. I don't want to see a movie that's a play.
I mean, Denzel's great before they made it into a movie.
Which one was that?
That was with Philip Seymour Hoffman playing the priest that had violated the child, but the mother, who I think was Viola Davis, was okay with it.
Yeah, she was like, he'll wind up as fucking Alexander the Great someday.
And Meryl Streep played the nun who was trying to sort of bring the story to light, and everyone else was trying to keep it quiet.
Anyone else watch The Last of Us? Any of you guys in on The Last of Us?
No, I was trying to find the line from Fences where the lady, where she's like, "I've been standing with you the whole time."
Yeah, he comes home.
He comes home, and I've been right here with you the whole time.
He brings home the new kid, right?
Yeah. Or no, I think he finds out that he's having a kid.
Oh, he tells her?
Yeah.
In the play, he shows up at the door of his house with a baby in his arms.
He's like, "I'm sorry,
he might do
Viola."
That, remember? I don't remember. He might do that. I do remember when he tells her he has the child, he's straight to the point.
Yeah.
He's not very, he doesn't really lay it on her too easily.
Nice. Sorry, we had a little technical issue there. That was not that
we're getting sued for referencing Fences.
Yeah.
Viola Davis's people found out that we were using her line. Sass did such a good job that the AI that picks up when you use a film line in a podcast.
Oh, it automatically flagged us.
We got automatically flagged because Sass did such a spot on Davis.
Yeah, no.
Did she win a...
Hairball said that he would have preferred the cast if it had been all white.
Did she win an Oscar
led by Dennis
for that?
Washburn.
Didn't she win some sort of an award?
I think
probably
he did. No, I thought Denzel won, or maybe
really Denzel kind of just plays a dick. Like he's just a prick in that movie.
He was nominated for it, I think, but it was never going to win. That was a heavy Oscar year, I think.
An incredible year.
Yeah, that movie.
That was
Spotlight
in Moonland or whatever.
That movie's that old.
Moonlight and La La Land.
La La Land.
Spotlight and Moonland.
Turning into a dad fast.
It did have Spotlight is Hairball's favorite movie.
Yeah, Spotlight was great.
All right.
Well, thank you guys for listening. Thank you to everyone who came and saw the shows in Philly. They were a blast.
Who'd you have there with you?
Oh, I had me, Mook, Aiden McCluskey, and Sean Gardini.
Sean?
Yeah, great lineup.
Connor?
Yeah, it was very fun. Very fun weekend. Yeah, it was a blast.
Sick. All right, and get out to see Sass at...
Oh, I got nothing coming up right now.
Okay.
I got Dallas this weekend, and then I have Chicago in first weekend of June, and that's the downtown shows are already sold out. So there's only Rosemont left. Come out. See you there.
Sweet.